Hi, Sarah. I'm Marina. I'm from Kinótico in Spain.
Hi.
Um, I'd like to ask you first because I read somewhere that you weren't expecting the show to end so soon, but at the same time that you thought that the ending was perfect.
Yes, I think I wasn't convinced that it could end the way that it does, but we knew throughout the season that there was the potential that it could end. That the writers were toying up of whether this was going to be the last season or we could go for a season five. So it was expected to have an answer, but I guess I also hoped that it wasn't going to be the answer
Yeah.
that we got, as did everybody else, you know. But then having read the final episode, yeah, it's genius how it ends, I think.
hmm Um, why do you think it's so entertaining to see rich people trying to destroy themselves? Because we've seen now is like Succession, The White Lotus, The Menu, like we are in
Yeah.
this moment.
Yeah, I think, well, because wealth and power and money and status fairly globally and certainly in social media is so aspirational. It's always like, people are showing off their watches and their boats and like they're on a private jet. And a lot of the times, they're not paying for that themselves. That's being given to them as advertisement, or they're just taking the photo and then pretending. And I think something about that we're all being shown all this sort of money, power, wealth, all of those aspects. There's a quality to it that we're being asked to be jealous of it and aspire to it. So when we see people who aren't enjoying it or who aren't using that well or who are still bad people, there's a pleasure, I guess, in that. It's enjoyable.
um, would you say that Shiv is a? I don't know if calling her a bad person is correct. Because they're all very shady. Let's say that.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
But no, no, please, please.
Oh, no, she's definitely complex. Yeah. Not She wouldn't call herself bad and I can't because I play her. But she's not someone I would be friends with.
Yeah, it's true. I also wanted to ask you about the way that these people they try to solve their personal problems through their business operations. It's like Tom and Shiv this season they have all these, especially in the first episode, this back and forth with the buyout of the persons, and it's almost like the only way they know how to speak to each other is through business. I
Yeah,
don't know if
absolutely.
that's true.
No, I think that's accurate. I think it's a language that they've learned in their family, and that Shiv has learned growing up in the family that she has. I think love is expressed through success and business prowess and ruthlessness as well. I think all their personal identities are so wrapped up in their work that you can't separate them. And so that's how they relate to each other in their personal relationships as well. I think for Shiv, you know, I don't think she really understands how to express love apart from transactionally.
Mhm. And just my last question is: do you think that Shiv has learned something from all these years? Has she learned something from her father, for example?
Oh, I think she's definitely learned a lot from her father. I don't know if learned good things. It'd be nice to say that Shiv has learned something and come to a enlightenment and revelation, and she's going to change, who she is. But part of what Jesse's interest in this family and in these characters in this sort of world has been his belief that people don't fundamentally change. They change the circumstances around them and they adjust to them, but there aren't these sort of revelatory changes that, on a dime, now I'm going to be a different person. They take years to change, and you can't really show that in a TV show unless you're going to do, you know, one season every year of a decade or something. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so I think she does learn a lot. She learned a lot from her father, but they're not necessarily good things.
It's true. Thank you, Sarah, very much.
Nice to meet you, Marina.